Hola, what's up, everybody? Bienvenidos a todos. Esta noche tenemos Francisco Pastor. Hace excelente contenido de Instagram, YouTube. También hace sus videos en inglés y español. Bienvenido, por favor, Francisco. What's up, buddy?
Hey, you speak Spanish real good, so
Is it? I haven't spoken Spanish in a long time, dude.
I understood.
So how are you, man? I know you had the whole hurricane come through, didn't you?
Yeah, we survived. I mean, God provide us because it was Hurricane 3 and came in Hurricane Category 1, and it was tough, bro.
Yeah, I saw some pictures you sent me. We had that. I'm from Texas, so we deal with the whole hurricane stuff here too. We got to prepare. It always kind of misses us, but we get all the rain, we get all the wind. Recently, we had power lines that went down, and uh, all the roads were messed up. All like you couldn't even drive anywhere. Honestly, everything was closed. So we had that a couple months back, but now it went up your way, and I'm glad that you're okay. You got out of there before it actually hit, correct?
No, I was here when it hit,
Oh,
but
when it hit,
I left just when the power went off. So I say I cannot stay here. Shoo!
where were they out of power for a while there?
They're still restoring the power lines. I mean, it was
Man,
massive
that
destruction.
always takes a long time when you deal with that kind of weather and hurricane stuff. So glad to see you're okay. Glad you made it. I know you're without internet. Are you on a computer right now?
Yeah.
You got it going. All right. I'm glad that you made it. I'm pretty excited to have you on. Um, so yeah, like I said, this is Francisco, ClimasterLatino. You also have Climaster USA still up, right?
Yeah.
So you can find this guy on YouTube and on Instagram if you guys want to check him out. He does videos and content in Spanish and English, which is a very good thing because we don't have a lot of content on the Spanish side. I know Tito had tried to do it. I've been asked a bunch to do it, but it's just a hard thing to do when you're trying to do English and Spanish. I mostly do the English, but for Francisco here has you covered if you got the if you want the Spanish content. All right, man. So, where are you from, or what area do you service and work in?
I'm from South America, Venezuela. I came to the state in 2015. So I'm off to Valdosta, Georgia with no English at all. I started working air conditioning. My background air conditioning is started in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to Valdosta escaping from Miami. It was very
Oh, really?
expensive. So I found a job here the first day that I put my foot in the door. They hired me on the spot, and I'm being blessed and fighting with English. And in about a year and a half, started speaking English. So,
There you go, man.
whew,
Did you? Okay, so you came over in 2015 from Venezuela.
yes,
At what age were you when you came over?
probably 27.
Oh,
I
okay.
have,
So,
yes.
did you have experience over there in AC, or did you start that over here?
I started hunting vampires in Venezuela, like working with the nails. I don't know how you understand what I'm saying. I mean, no access to tools and technology. We
Oh, I can
were
imagine.
technicians. I mean, opening compressors and repairing stuff.
Oh,
And
yes, yes, yes.
so here I will say I learned a lot, but we are parts changers here. But in Venezuela we fix stuff like
So
windings.
how many years did you have or did you do that over there in Venezuela?
I did it for 4 years. I was
For 4 years.
blessed.
So
Yeah.
like, and that's the thing that I forget, that around the world it's not the same as here as far as like AC work and all that kind of stuff, because you actually have to fix whatever's broken and rebuild it, or like you said, cut them open and do other stuff. Because here, we need a new compressor, we need a new motor, we need a new cap, whatever it is, go get it, right? Over there, you
Yeah,
need to actually open it up and fix it. So how
sometimes,
how
but you
how
can
was that
get
over there?
um. I mean, it was tough because, for example, if you buy a compressor on the warranty in my home country, when all that started messing up, they test it on the counter, and if you take it and it breaks, it's your problem. It's not their problem. So
Uh,
to warranty stuff is very bad. A lot of counterfeits parts, but
mm,
I learned with empirically. I learned by mistake. I mean, I was in the
yeah,
military. I used to work with tanks and in the army of Venezuela. I'm a crazy guy. I'm EOD, so I'm a specialist in explosives and bombs and grenades. So on my
wow.
duties, I met a guy that works air conditioning, and when it was my time to pay him back for his job, he was making probably 30 times that I was making on a monthly basis. I say, I have to do that.
So you did that over there, and then you came over to the States. And was that a struggle, like trying to get a job over here, in HVAC?
Well, it's super easy. If you show right now, if you show what you know, and
Hmm.
basically no, at least in my area, nobody wants to do it.
Oh, okay.
When I'm out, nobody wants to work air conditioning. And if you
Where
can
you're
find
at,
somebody, I'm in
where you're at right
Valdosta,
now?
Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's hard to find somebody that can pass a background check too. So
And that's what I always tell people is like, because I have people that tell me, that they have a hard time finding a job here and there, even people that are in my area. Um, and it can happen to where you might be let go, or it might take a little while. But if you look hard enough, you'll find a job. I mean, there's a need for a tech, whether it's AC, refrigeration, whatever side of HVAC, uh, there's always a need for that. So if Francisco here can come into the States and then just be like, I want to do AC and go out there and get a job. I mean, anybody can just do that. Just come in. Experience helps, right? You had a little bit of experience over there. But I'm assuming it was very different uh, from doing AC in Venezuela than versus doing it over here, but you learned and you took that and ran with it, right?
well, yes, and I like to train. I like to educate. That's why I jumped into YouTube. I delayed it. I remember talking to you in the expo, and I say, "Well, I'm shy to my accent and stuff." And you told me, "Don't care, just go on." So I train a bunch of guys. In my hands, in my crew, I train a bunch of people. So I would say 20% stay on the trade because they just don't they don't want to work. They want to make
Yeah.
they're warm
That
quitters. So just want to make the
yeah,
bare minimum.
some people want the easy money, or they don't want to wait, because sometimes, like I said, it depends on where you're from, right? If you're, like you said, you went to an area that really needed techs because nobody wants to work there. But like in other places, there might be a whole bunch of techs, that's there's a lot of companies in that area, a lot of techs, but you have to want to work, obviously, work with your hands, make sure that you keep learning after work, stuff like that. And then there's also that side of things where, like, if you're at a company, some people want to make the fast cash. They want to get raises right away. They want to make, the money at the top already. And I'm like, you need to be there like a year, 2 years, get your experience. Hopefully they have a good senior tech or somebody that's training you, and you can uh get that experience and get all that under your belt, and then go look for a better job, because you don't start. at the top at anything. You work your way up, and a lot of it's hard work, and like you said, educating yourself. You have to do that after work. You have to read books, go on YouTube. It's so easy now just to go on YouTube and look something up, and that's how you kind of like get there, and you'll make the money eventually.
Well, especially in your area, in my area, we got brutal heat and brutal humidity. We are over 90% humidity. The attic can be 160, 170 degrees. So nobody wants to do that. I don't blame them. I don't want to do it either. But I'm more comfortable in attics than crawl spaces. So,
Yeah, we got Angel HVAC boss. What are you asking, Angel? Easy to make money. You can make money in this trade. If you guys want to know the secret, go ask HVAC boss here, because he is a millionaire,
money maker.
multimillionaire. So he has all the money. Yeah, we deal with that too. That's what I always tell people. As far as the heat, there's only a few states, and they all kind of are close together, that understand that brutal heat that you're talking about, the high humidity, and I deal with it here too. The humidity. I don't think it's as bad as what you said, but we get a pretty close, 70%, 80% humidity, and then that can be, during the day and during the night, because our nights get really hot too, especially during like heat waves. Um, and that's no joke. And you got to take care of yourself. You got to be got to cover up, drink a lot of water, and Angel over here. Thanks, Adrian. Now I'm gonna get robbed. Hey, you got all the secrets, Angel. I already know. Like, if I'm gonna tell people they want to make money, go see Angel like all year round. I don't know if that's the same thing over there, or do you actually get a winter?
Well, we have the 3 seasons on one day here in South Georgia, so it can be 19 degrees in the morning and 90 degrees in the afternoon.
So you have very similar weather to what I deal with over here, and I try to explain to people that are like, further up north, and they don't understand. I'm like, no, it gets really hot here, and then it gets like weird, like all day. It could be like cold, hot, rainy, or whatever. Like it gets all crazy.
Yeah. You could talk. I see like HVAC boss is saying a poor Latino making yada yada. We're in a hazard for this country because we work like 3 people. And so I did a whole high school with only 2 Mexicans and me. I mean, they were 2 and a quarter man. I was the quarter man because the Mexicans they run. We did a whole high school together,
Damn.
3 guys.
And you being from Georgia, you have, because like I hear the accent, I from being from Venezuela, of course, but you have a little. I was gonna ask you where you're from, but you already said Georgia. You have that little southern accent with that Venezuelan accent too, so kind of unique.
Yeah, I got it. Just working in deep south. The
It-
university school.
yeah, because you said you learned English after you got here, right? You came with no English, or not knowing English whatsoever.
Now my speaking was zero, but I was able to read.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
because
actually
in
really
in
really good.
in other countries, English is mandatory to graduate. I mean, whether you take advantage of that or not, but basically, I learned most of my English, my grammar comes from Nintendo.
Yeah, it's funny. I've heard people say that they learn it from games or from TV. That's the best way they know how to learn, or learn how to speak it. So, I mean, that I didn't know that they required that to graduate. So, I mean, that's good, right? You came over at least knowing how to read, and kind of understand English, and then you just had to learn how to speak as you got here. Did it take you a while or no?
I would say like a year or so, and one day I woke up in the morning. I was started understanding the radio.
There you go, man. So you mentioned that you work for a company, correct? So you do work as, are you like a service tech?
I'm a service technician for a decent sized family owned operated
Oh, okay.
company.
have you been with that one company for a good while now, or?
This is my 6th year.
Oh, okay, that's
This
cool.
is 6 years with them now.
And what kind of work do you all do? Is it mostly residential? Do you do any other kind of work?
We do everything, but me, I just try to stay attached on residential like commercial. Because now I
Mm,
have like a seniority. So I
yeah.
I don't pick and choose what I want, but I say I don't do commercial because I don't travel. That was when I was hired. I say I'm not a traveler.
Does a company service out of town or something?
We got the jewelries, hotels, holidays inns all over the country. We
Oh, okay.
serve a bunch of contracts. Actually, we just
Gotcha.
finished a hotel in Disney Orlando.
Oh, wow. And that's a small company that you work for?
Yeah, it's a
Like
small company
family owned?
since 1955 they've been on business, but my
Oh, wow.
boss is very tough. He's very smart and he wants to be all over.
That's awesome, man. I come from a small business too. It's me and my dad, and we run. You met my brother over at AHR as well, so it's me and my brother, and my dad and his brother. But we actually accomplish quite a bit of things. We have a lot of major restaurants, fast food chains, and stuff like that. So just because you open up your own business, run a small family business, doesn't mean that you're not going to get big contracts or make good money. There's enough work for everybody, and I was pretty blown away. We do hospital work for a lot of major hospitals here. Like I said, we used to do a lot of major restaurants. We kind of cut back a little bit from those, but we do a lot of fast food chains. You get one, and then all of a sudden you have like 20 stores of that customer because they have all the ones down here. And I live in South Texas in the RGV. So like there's a whole bunch of stuff everywhere because we work about an hour to 2 hours each way. So we have a fast food chain, we have like a pizza chain or a couple of pizza chains, and each one gives us like 20 stores or whatnot. So, you know, small companies can do good. Uh and that's cool that you work for a family owned business that is kind of a big deal already.
Well, the people don't understand. You're being on both sides. Are like kind of like owner. The good thing about it's a good thing work for somebody because you can make decent living out of this trade. And in my case, when I go home, I don't care about the company. I care, but
Yeah.
I'm not worried about customers. If they call the
Hmm.
after hours. You know what I mean? So I don't have to
Yeah.
do anything else after I take my boots out. If I'm not on call, that's not my problem. So being
Yeah,
an
that,
owner like
that's
you is another story.
yeah, that's a good thing, right? I always tell people that can do that. I'm like, man, I'm so jealous. You get to hang it up. When you clock out, right? And I work. We kind of got it under control now. We try to do a lot of maintenance. We try to when we're there, especially on a Friday afternoon, I will take a look around at the stores that I'm at for the day. And if I see something wrong, I will tell them, let me look at that right now before you call me on the weekend. So we just try
Mm.
to we try to simplify it a little bit and minimize the calls on the weekend. But yeah, I'm always on call 24/7.
And especially when you overlook something, it will bite you on the weekend, especially when
I
you're on
get
call.
I get so pissed when I forget something or we missed something or whatever it may be, and then you get that call the next day and you're like, oh man, I got to go back on a Saturday to fix something I could have done during the week or yesterday. So it happens.
You're Friday night trying to sleep and say, "Shit, I turn on that disconnect?"
That disconnect, did I leave the jumper on there? Did I forget to put all the screws back? Whatever it is, dude. Like, it sucks when you remember or don't remember, honestly, and then you get that call the next day. Okay, so you mostly do residential and light commercial. So I kind of do the same thing. And then I met you. I know I bring it up a lot, but a lot of the guests that come on the show and a lot of people that just in general I meet at AHR. So I met you at the Atlanta one. It was nice meeting you. I mean, me and my brother were there. We got to meet you, and it was cool seeing you there. And then now to kind of see you do the whole content creator stuff. I know you started with an English, or did which one started first, your English or your Spanish
English,
channel? So you
English, and
started.
then in English. I started in English and then it's Spanish. I was like super pissed on Memorial Day weekend, so I did a
Uh
video
huh.
in Spanish and blew up.
Oh.
So that and Memorial Day, that's when I started Spanish, and I'm taking aside English for a moment, probably till next year, for conflicts of interests. I don't want nobody taking
Yeah,
copyright on me when I work for. So
gotcha. Yeah, because well, I knew your English channel first, your YouTube and your Instagram. Then I just randomly, I guess it popped up on my feed. You had a Spanish version, and I was like, okay, he's speaking Spanish on his channel now. But then I was like, oh no, this is a different channel. So then I looked, and yeah, you have a Spanish YouTube channel and Instagram, and the Instagram kind of blew up, like you said. Is that where you said that that video blew up?
yeah, I did one of turbo
Oh,
to
okay.
100 capacitor, and I make like almost 300,000 views. And
Dang.
I just came across your stupid content channel because I refused to do TikTok. I didn't want to do it until one follower told me, "Hey, I heard your voice in another guy video, and his videos are
Mm,
doing pretty good in TikTok, and it's you." So
damn.
I had to jump on TikTok and put the nasty thing that people complain about it, the
Yeah.
watermarks. A lot of people complain about that, but man, when somebody steal your content, you have to do it.
People complain that you put your name on it.
Well, I cannot see well, so I try to put it smaller.
Uh,
Like
yeah, but that sucks because so did you get to report the person, or is that account still up?
still up, but
Damn. Yeah, because
and
I
they make it harder to find because they put their faces and they put something else, and you have to watch almost the whole video to find your content. Like you're doing something where your
oh
face is not being shown is your video.
yeah, I had the same issue. That's why I posted that video. Uh, and I don't know if I'm gonna change the name or anything because I don't know if it's stupid simple content. For you guys in the chat that are wondering, I do have a second channel where I talk about like the stuff that I do as far as like editing or how I do things, how I post, behind the scenes stuff. So I made a little video, a rant video, because I started seeing my stuff get stolen everywhere. So the main one is like what you're saying is I have videos where I don't show my face because they're like, I don't know, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And it's usually of a tool that I bought or whatever. And then I started seeing my videos like on tool channels that are not mine, right? I gave no permission or anything like that. I haven't seen it on TikTok yet, but on Instagram, a lot of people that sell, the HVAC shirts or I don't know, like some scammy type stuff. I started seeing my videos over there, my photos, and I'm like, this has to like stop. So I put the watermark. I try to make it as nicely as I can, but as long as people know if they see it, my name is up there, and they because they're gonna steal it anyway. But your name's on there, it's a
Yeah.
little bit better. And then I try to tag myself in all my posts. So I tag myself so that if they reshare it or repost it, Instagram will tell me. So then I'll go and I'll just start reporting them. And then like if any now so many people follow me and know my videos and stuff that they'll tell me like, oh, I saw your video here or I saw your video there, and then they start reporting it. So that's helpful too. But Yeah, that sucks. So I kind of just try to be on all platforms just so I can claim at least my username and everything. And then if I post, I post. But like it kind of sucks that they steal our content.
They make the most effort to steal it. I mean, they're gonna steal it no matter what.
Yeah, just make sure you put your name on it or something. That way, as somebody who sees it, they'll be like, oh, that's Francisco, or that's Adrian's, that's somebody else's video.
More likely, your followers are gonna tell you, "Hey, your video is here somewhere." So,
Yeah, I've been told so many times. It's gotten so annoying, but it is what it is. So
yeah, I
yeah,
try to make my
blogger.
videos simple and straight to the point. I mean, one of my inspirations was Craig Migliaccio. Um, it was
Yeah,
very hard for me to understand subcooling superheat when I was in Venezuela because United States is a different world. I mean, you have to learn inches, Fahrenheit. Nobody use that. You just use
yeah,
that here. So I had to learn from here how to work with Fahrenheit, inches.
that's right. Yeah,
So I bought Craig Migliaccio book years ago, and man, that opened my mind. I mean, his videos, I mean, we didn't have heaters, furnaces. So I had to learn in my area how to work with furnaces. And if you're gonna watch YouTube videos, like you're gonna watch Adrian or how to fix a cooler, don't do it in front of the customer. Hide in your van, see where the TXV goes. But I mean, we learn a lot and try
yeah,
and
man.
error.
Like, yeah, like you learn on in the field the best. The actual, like, either the mistakes you do, or when you figure it out, you remember those things equally. Like if you make a mistake, you'll know not to make that mistake again. But then, like, when you're there and you're trying to figure it out, and you figure out like a hard call or anything like that, you'll remember that too. So experience is always the best thing. But uh, I went to school, so that was the benefit I had. I had a really good school where I learned all this stuff, like you're saying, the superheat subcool, and the understanding of the refrigeration cycle and all that, because it's the same across everything, like AC, refrigeration, commercial refrigeration, light commercial, heavy commercial, residential. It's all the same cycle and components. It's just like different sizes, or different safeties, things like that. So having Brian Orr with HVAC School, Craig Migliaccio with AC Service Tech. One of my favorites is Ty Brenneman, who's on YouTube, and he's on TikTok now, blowing up too, with his short little videos where he cuts everything open and shows you how everything works. And those are all super easy to follow. Great educational videos. And speaking of Craig, he has that whole Spanish literature now. I saw you promoting it on your I think it was on your Instagram. Like that's really cool now too, that we have that in Spanish.
And I s- and I started promoting his books by mistake. I wasn't live on my first live, and somebody asked me what books did you recommend. I stand up,
Mm,
went to my bookshelf, and pulled my book and say, "I really recommend this book." He tells you everything. I mean,
yeah.
everything that you need to know is there on his books, digested, simple, straight to the point. Somebody asked on the chat if I work in boilers. I work in everything that is connected to a house or something. Um, the problem of that is it's hard for me to say no when in my office say I need you to go to X place and do that, and I say, well, just to let you know, I never put my hands on that kind of chiller, and
Oh, okay.
there are two things that can happen. I make it broker or I fix it, but I will do something. So I
Every
learned tech support
everything's
is
everything's fixable. Like it doesn't really, if you want to take a shot at it, I think that's the best thing you can do. Uh but like I said, everything's fixable. If you make it worse, you can always fix it.
the way that I recommend to everybody that is in the trade. I started backwards. I started experience first, and I know guy that wanted to retire. He showed me the back door first, and
Yeah.
I asked him why, and he couldn't answer that question for me. And that sucker, his manometer, his hand was calibrated. He tell you it's 38 Fahrenheit, and it was 38 Fahrenheit. So I went to school at nights where everybody was drinking and partying, doing parties. I was on school at nights, reinvesting the money that I was making. So when you're in the field, I mean, chill down and go to the basics. It's like a car: fuel, air, combustion, escape. Go to the basics. Don't break your brain and see the schematics. And there is a great resource right now, Blue On. You call it tech on site, and those guys know what they're doing. So
Have you talked to Blue On then? I haven't used their tech
yeah.
support yet.
Well, I had a problem with a train in Telepack 50-ton. I was smashing my head with that panel because I couldn't figure it out. And it was a doggone thermistor that it was out of
Mm.
range. But which doggone thermistor is? So the guy told me it's heating behind this pipe, and then I found it. It took
Oh,
me
okay.
16 hours to fix that unit in the hospital. Without Blue On, I couldn't make it. I swear to God. I was not going to be able to make it. But don't give up. Put your hands on. Ask somebody. If you work in a company, more likely another tech put their hands on equipment that you're working with.
Yeah, and you know, we all go through that where we have our hard calls or our tough days, and there should be no. I used to have a problem calling tech support myself. I didn't like calling them. I still don't like calling some of them because they take forever to answer or they call you back days later. But sometimes we have to call. We have to read the schematic. We have to maybe just call somebody else that might be able to help. I know Jennifer was advertising her little. They do have a tech support. It's a group of them. I don't know if it's like up to 5 now. They do free tech support. If you yeah, there she goes. Call HVA Chicks tech support anytime 24/7, and they will walk you through any call. And like I said, there's 5 of them, so they all know like a little, or they know everything. Honestly, they work on chillers, light commercial, heavy commercial. So they have a good tech support thing going there, and it's free.
It's free. Golly. I'll be calling you. I
Yeah,
face
just
a lot of issues. And hack jobs. You struggle, and especially with the new generation that I see you struggling with the variable speed coolers and stuff. Man, smarter, junkier.
oh yeah,
I
I
wish we
know.
can stay in capacitors, because if you don't have that board, you're done.
That's a whole other topic we could go over, but I've had my fair share of issues because where I'm at, we're like the last ones to get everything. So we had all mechanical. We had no boards whatsoever until like the past year or two, and I have to tell them like, I'm sorry, like the board controls everything. We can't do anything until the board comes in. Like there's nothing to change out. There's nothing to bypass. It's just like if the board fails, it fails. Like that's the whole brain.
And this new generation of inverters, you cannot bypass anything.
Yeah,
You're
that's the
done.
thing. I don't know if anybody answered her, but she was asking where they can send her Spanish speaking students. So sure, you're going to be putting out more content on the Spanish side. So you already have somebody that's going to send people to your channel.
I'm working on a great video right now. I'm trying to get Solderwell to sponsor me, because we need money at the end of the day. But I'm recording a good video about soldering materials,
Yeah.
and I wish I was taught about that way. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on that video. It's a bunch of work, but stay tuned.
Are are you talking about like just brazing in general, or are you talking about like specific like aluminum or anything else?
Bracing all the joints on air conditioning, refrigeration, how to do it. I
Gotcha.
mean, I came across one channel because I've been looking several units around the area that they are soft solder. So some people tell me don't do that. So I started making my own research.
Mm-hmm.
There's a product, Stay Bright 8. Man,
Yeah.
that thing is good. But I tested. I mean, I'm still old fashioned. Um, silver solder, and I cannot justify 3 grand on press tools right now because I
Oh
mean I
yeah, yeah.
have to pay for my tool. So the company I
Yeah, I
work
got you.
for, but I'm trying to make good educational content, and let's see what happened.
Yeah, man. The Stay Bright 8, I actually have some, but I need to practice with it because I'm so used to brazing that I'm like really bad at like soft soldering now. But Stay Bright 8 is pretty good from what I can tell. It's gonna be helpful where you maybe can't or you don't want to run nitrogen or you need to be a little bit quicker in and out. And it's supposed to hold pretty, the strength is supposed to be pretty good. If you ever are on YouTube, I talked to this guy, Dave, and his YouTube channel is DIY HVAC guy.
Yeah.
Now I know he gets a lot of heat because he shows homeowners how to do their own repairs. Uh, that's a whole other thing. If he honestly he can do whatever he wants, right? It's YouTube. But he does a lot of videos on the Stay Bright 8 because he uses it a lot. And he swears by it and it works good. He puts in condensers at people's houses and I think his own house with Stay Bright 8 and he's never had any issues with it.
Well, you just the Stay Bright 8 is just prep.
Brian, soft soldering is stronger, but it won't take the movement. You got to make sure that you secure everything properly, and I think vibration is what hurts it. Hey, man, I can see you now.
Uh, talking about the heat, I'll stay on heat. I posted a video on how to do proper maintenance because I mean I got a lot of heat people saying we are gonna lose our jobs, and trust me, man, 90% of the people that watch our videos, they're not gonna do it. I mean, I'm a DIYer. I mean, I rarely call a plumber or an electrician, but
Yeah,
sometimes if you're trying something, you get frustrated easily. And we got mechanical, um, we can work with mechanical things. So a homeowner won't do that. So that's what we
no,
do. I
and
mean, if a DIYer goes by, we go back and charge triple. You know what I mean?
well, yeah. I mean, sometimes they make it worse, but uh, that's the other thing too, right? Like, I know people get mad, like HVAC people get mad for people showing about capacitors and things like that. But for one, I don't like, when companies are charging because I talked to Dave and I talked to other guys that, do residential, uh, and they tell me that some people tell them, some company wanted to charge 1,000, 2,000 just for the capacitor. And it's like, whoa, like, okay, that's that's a rip off. That's kind of like getting up there, like those are the companies that you need to watch out for. But uh for the most part, don't rip off your customers. If you keep it a decent price or talk to them, they'll understand, and you can replace that part or whatever part you need to. Um, you know, the customers are just getting smarter, and I see it on the commercial side too, where they're like that price doesn't sound right. I'm gonna go call a second opinion or I'll look it up or whatever it may be, and then they're gonna find out, that you're trying to rip them off. So that's one issue. Um, And then like the whole thing is like HVAC guys don't like that kind of content going out there. I have no issue with it because, like you said, we always have work. We're gonna either get the work that we already have, because there's plenty to go around, or we're gonna end up going behind whatever they did, because they didn't know what they were doing or it wasn't done right. And then I also see it like you said, we are mechanically inclined to where I don't call too many people to come fix my stuff. I work on my own car. I work on my own AC, but I do a lot of stuff around the house where I can fix things because I'm pretty handy with tools, right? So it's the same thing. Like I'm not taking anything away from mechanics. If my car is really messed up, I'll take it in, but for the most part, I'll try and fix it myself first.
Yeah. Well, I fix my car too because if I go to a mechanic, if I mess it up twice, I won't.
Yeah, because that's the other thing is uh people ask why we charge so much, and like I'm not charging thousands of dollars to replace a cap or anything like that, but I have to charge for going out there my hourly rate, whatever it is, their service charge, anything like that, and then we have to mark up because everybody's like, "Oh, that's a $10 capacitor. Why are you charging, you know, 60, 70, $100, whatever it is?" It's like, "Well, I had it in stock, right? I had it in my van. I came, I could tell you what it is, and I can get you the AC going pretty quick. Are you gonna wait around, order the part off Amazon or wherever it is? Because you more than likely cannot go to any supply house without being a contractor and actually buying from them. So, are you gonna go on Amazon, wait for the part to come in, shipping, all that, and then do it yourself? You're gonna be without AC for the week, or that's why you pay somebody to go out there to fix it, quickly.
The other day, well, I posted a video not too long ago working on a short blown fuse, a carrier unit. I went just looking the problem. The guy described the problem. I went to my van. I got my tool in 1 minute. I fixed the problem. I charge him. I treat him fairly good, $200, because the
Yeah.
book. We work flat rate. We don't work time material.
Mm.
It doesn't matter if 1 minute or 3 hours. It's flat rate. Yeah, you know how long it took me to find that short in my pressure switch before. So now the experience led you to time. You go to brands that you know the problem before even touching the unit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we have that issue right now. Like you said, you might hear the problem or you might have that issue over and over again, right? With certain brands or whatever it is that you're working on. Like with me, I do refrigeration. I already know the heat craft stuff pretty well. Especially these intelligens that are coming out with the boards and all that we have to deal with. So I already know, like, when I'm gonna go out there, your fans are not working. It's because they don't zip tie the plugs for the fans to the going outside. So I already know. Go look at the plug it back in, bam, your fans are working. Then I go in there and I put my own zip ties because I already know that manufacturer does not secure their plugs. And then another thing is like when we're talking about the boards, and I have to tell them like we have to wait for a new board because the board is no good. I went out for a call. It was a brand new walk-in cooler, I believe, and I could not. It worked for like a day or two, and then it just wouldn't work anymore. And I kept checking, and it kept trying to pump down. And I'm like, something's going on with this TXV. That took me a few days because I had to try and call manufacturer, tech support. They walked me through everything, and I was telling them I'm going by the book. I already got all my readings. It works fine in like a test mode because they have a test mode to check all the volts and everything like that. It works fine in the test mode, but it will not open my TXV when I'm trying to run it. Because when you run it, you have to plug everything back in. And when you do the test mode, you can take off and check it that way. So I'm like, there's no way for me to check anything while it's running because everything's secured. And they were pretty sure that it was a TXV. I ended up replacing it was an EEV, electronic
EV.
expansion valve. Yeah, and I replaced it, and I'm like, nope, it's doing the same thing. And I told them, when you send me that EEV, please send me the board just in case. So they sent me both, and then I replaced the board after going through hours of trying to figure this out. And it was a damn board that it wasn't sending the signal and cooling. So now I've had like 2 or 3 other calls, and every time I hear that, either it's stuck open or stuck closed, I'm like, "Nope, give me the board. That's all, I already know what this issue is, right? I can get you cooling. I mean, we have to wait for the board, but I can get you cooling back pretty quick." And that's that experience that you're saying that we know already because we've seen it so many times. We go out there and it's like, well, I still have to charge you the flat rate, the hourly rate, whatever it is that you guys charge, but we might be in and out. But I think that's such a weird thing to complain about because they're like, oh, that was it, and this and that. Instead of like, oh, thank God you got it running in a few minutes, and they want to be suffering for hours or something. Yeah, man.
And
And yeah,
people saying
I
about OnlyFans, we don't have OnlyFans bodies, so we have to do air conditioning.
well, they want to start an only HVAC fans or something. But anyway, yeah, I know what you're talking about because like there's a lot of stuff that I just recently because I've heard of these brands that you can buy, and I didn't know that you could get them so easily too. And uh, some companies have reached out to me to do like YouTube videos and stuff on their equipment, and then they send me the link, and it's like stuff that you can buy off Amazon. You can buy like ACs off of Amazon, and then like honestly just do it yourself. So there's always going to be that. There's always going to be issues with those. They're probably you know manufactured on the cheaper end, and they're going to have issues with little things here and there, especially if it's not installed correctly, because only one person that I've talked to recently has answered my question, because every time somebody tells me like, "Oh, I'll just do it myself," or I installed this, or I put my own mini split or whatever condenser in my own house, and I'm like, "Really? Did you purge with nitrogen? How did you braise? Did you vacuum? What was your superheat? Anything subcooling? Whatever you check on when you do a startup." And nobody answered me. The only one answered me, but he sounded like he was somebody who does a lot of handiwork. I can't remember what he said he was. I don't know if he was. I think it was a mechanic or something, a car mechanic. And he's like, "Oh, it's because my dad had all the equipment." So that's the only one that told me, like, yeah, my dad had the vacuum pump and the gauges and everything. I'm like, okay, well, you get a pass, but like most people, they're not gonna have the right tools to even do this stuff, and you're gonna get moisture in the system. You're gonna get leaks here and there. Like different things are gonna happen.
Well, for those that worry about DIYers, Carrier is coming with 454B mitigation boards and Bluetooth connections, and that's gonna kill DIYers from the root.
Yeah,
R32 Daikin is gonna kill DIYers. I mean,
yeah, because like even myself, I'm afraid to burn out a board or burn out something, and I can imagine these people getting in there and they touch one little thing and the whole board is dead now because they're trying to check like the cap or something real simple that we could have done. Yeah, I think Zach knows which one we're talking about,
no, there are
or at
other
least
one.
there's other
One
ones.
is
That's the one that I was thinking of.
Batman. I call it Batman.
There's a lot now. I've noticed, and I guess this stuff. I don't know what's going on with Amazon, but they're starting to sell like everything now. Brian's asking if I've seen the Heatcraft making a universal controller. Yes, I believe they had it at AHR. I didn't go by their booth. But they're trying to get us to basically upgrade everything, even if it's old, to digital. So they're selling a upgrade kit where you can put in a controller and everything. So I've seen it. I don't really care to do that, but yeah, we're going digital for everything. All right, man. So we're going on an hour. I'm just gonna go through the chat real quick. Is there anything else you wanted to go over or say before we get off?
Yes, we are here to help. I mean, I receive a bunch of questions, people from all over the world. Fransisco, I'm here having this issue, and if I don't know it right then, I will try to help you out right now. If I can able to answer questions, just text me on Instagram, and if I can help you out, we figure it out together.
Yeah,
Just
man.
be honest. Be honest. Study. Learn. I mean, it's a constant. You have to keep studying this. because if you get out of the trade a year or 6 months, you're way behind. You need to stay on top of the technology now.
Yeah, you always have to be learning after work, and like you said, like you wanted to educate yourself and all that as you went along because you weren't or you were spending your nights reading, educating, learning more instead of being out partying. And that I've actually heard that from other guys I've had on the show. Like the one I can remember right off the bat is Jeffy Pipes, who is like doing really cool installs and stuff. And he told me the same thing. He's like, I wanted to, because his dad runs the business. So he was like, I wanted to take over and I wanted to get ahead. So he's like, when my friends were out, I was, studying, looking up stuff and learning more because he wanted to be better. And that's the easiest way to get ahead is just to go and learn more after work and take the time to read that stuff. Now you can look everything up on YouTube. But reading a manual, getting some textbooks, Craig does a lot of great books. So easiest way to level up. I think Zach here is asking about, I think he said comida in Venezuela. Or
Arepa, la arepa. It's like a gordita. It's kind of like a taco. It's a cornmeal flour. It's like kind of gordita in Mexico.
yeah.
For those that want to hear me speaking in Spanish, uh, yo aprendí español en Venezuela cuando nací. And I, I mean, my native language is Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So I think somebody asked me to speak more, and I'm like, my native language is English. I was born in Texas, so I'm not from Mexico, but my grandparents are, and I have some relatives that were from there. But I learned English first, and then I got into Spanish a little bit later on because I didn't speak it growing up. I learned it a little bit later on, and I understand it very well. I don't speak it too often.
My kids at home, I'm only speak Spanish, and they'll figure out English in the school. And if they
Hey,
start talking in English, I say no comprendo.
hey, but that's great. We need that uh to be around more, like because then like they don't understand Spanish when they're older and stuff like that. Like my parents spoke to me a lot in Spanish too, but it wasn't what we spoke the most. Like we mostly spoke English, but my grandparents, some of my relatives, like they didn't know any English, so I had to understand it and then be able to like talk a little bit, conversations and stuff. And then I worked at a Sam's Club, a grocery store here in South Texas. So everybody here is from Mexico that comes and shops. So then I had to like brush up and speak it pretty well just to get around at work. So it's good to know more than one language if you're of Hispanic descent or anything. I hope you guys teach your kids. Make sure that they know.
Like just work HVAC, watching novelas.
That's my mom all the time. That's all she would watch. I think she still does.
Well, I read about an article saying that by 2034, 50% of the population of the states is going to be Spanish speakers.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we have, like I said, a lot of the people that shop here are people that come over from Mexico because we're so close to the border. They just come over and shop, and some of them actually go back and resell that stuff for more. But that's a different story. Um, so a lot of the stores here, even if they're ran by like people from Asia, they're Asian. Um, I've tried speaking to them in English when I'm about to pay because I used to go to these shops a lot when I was younger, and they don't know English at all. They know their native language, which is like whatever it is, Chinese or whatever it may be. And then when they get here and they open up their shop, the first language they learn is Spanish because most of us down here just speak or know Spanish. So it's just funny that they don't even bother with English. They know their native language and then they come and learn Spanish because honestly, Spanish is around a lot actually.
Saludos, Mario, Rosa de Guadalupe. Me imagino que es una novela.
Yeah, what's up, Mario? Uh, but yeah, if you guys want to find and hear more of the Spanish content from Francisco, you can find him at ClimasterLatino, and that's on Instagram. I believe on YouTube, it's just your name, right? Francisco Pastor.
And Master Latino.
Oh, it's the same name. Okay, find him on YouTube. Find him on Instagram. I'm assuming you have a TikTok now.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok as well.
Okay.
Master Latino.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, find him there. If you only speak English, maybe some of you only speak English in the chat. Climester USA, he does have an English channel, Instagram that you can also follow. But please follow both. Support him. I know he's blowing up pretty well on the Spanish side, and I'm very proud. I love that. I love seeing that. I know you barely started in this kind of. You haven't been doing it too long, but you're doing great.
Uh, for anybody that wants to start, I've been receiving a bunch of comments like, "How I want to start. I want to start." I asked Adrian. I mean, and he told me go ahead, and I started because he told me, and he got a great content like the Blockstar app. That is awesome. I mean, it's super easy. So go ahead.
Just start recording, just start posting. Even if you think even if you think what you do is too simple, like I forgot who I was talking to, and it's like, that they're tired of hearing, oh, I'm just a filter changer, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. Just post it. You never know. Like how you do things, the tools that you use, any little bit of information helps a lot of the new guys or a lot of the guys, because people that get into this trade, some of them are really young, they're out of school or whatever it is. Some of them have told me that they're, you know, well older than I am, and they switched careers because they really want to get into HVAC. And all of these guys that are getting into it, they need to know like some tips and tricks, what tools to get, how to check equipment, how to do maintenance too, because that's a thing too, right? You don't want to just go through it and just change the filter. You want to check, different things, clean it up, whatever it may be. So if you guys are interested in doing like what we do, which is, I'm nobody. I'm just somebody that posts my work, has a YouTube channel. Now I have guests on as a podcast thing, but just post. That's all. That's the easiest thing. Just post.
After the first TXV, the second one is not bad, and the first one was not bad either.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming out. Do you have anything to say? I'm gonna cue the outro music, and then we can get off of this live.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me.
All
We'll
right. Well,
stay tuned.
yeah, for sure. I gotta cue the outro music, so I have to stay. But if you need to leave, you can leave. And see you guys.
Bye.